What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. And I must admit, I didn't really know how to introduce this video. It's not a video that you would even expect one to do, I guess. I suppose in this day and age, this is the only way you can kind of get your thoughts out there, and I'm very blessed, I guess, to have 11,000 people that pay attention to the things that I say. So I guess it was important that I didn't want to just ignore what had happened. I'd seen what people had put out there. I'd seen everybody's tributes, and and I'd seen all of that, and it's been such a difficult week in that, I guess when your friend dies, it's typically something that, gosh, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through this succinctly, but hopefully you guys will follow what I'm trying to say. For me, I think this whole thing hit me quite late. And I think for me, I've just spent the last week just trying to process it and not really spend a lot of time on the internet, which in itself has been beautiful, to be fair. So one good thing has come out of it. Just spent a lot of time on the internet, just try to move ahead and move along and just get on with things. And but I didn't want to go back to being normal, Obviously, we know that Arsenal return to football tomorrow. It's a big game against the Liverpool side. One of the things I wanted to try and do was see if I can get Robbie Richmond on. And I thought, I don't want to do any of that until I've addressed this Claude thing and really kind of just attempted to say goodbye to my friend. And this is a man who I would describe as a friend, This is not a man who, and listen, this is not disrespect to anyone else. This is just the way I see it. This is not a man who, people who I didn't know. This is not somebody who I wasn't aware of. This isn't somebody who I'm trying to use as the latest PR opportunity to make me look good. This is someone who I legitimately spoke to in a group chat every single day. Every single day. This is someone who legitimately I would call my friend, and he would call me his friend. And you're going to hear, and you've probably heard lots of stories about how, Claude was the sweetest guy, and how he was the sort of person that would give you the last pound he had if he knew it'd make you smile and make you laugh. And all of those things are true. But actually, this was someone who was so misunderstood by so many people in, quite honestly, the latter stages of his life. I think people forget that. People forget how many people demonized him over the last stages of his life, and how much that hurt him. Because if you know Claude the way I did, all that man wanted was to be respected. It's all he wanted. Mind you, I hadn't even known him for that long. This is not someone who I will tell you loads of war stories about. This isn't someone who technically, here's a little fun fact, I've never met him in person. But I used to speak to him all the time on the phone, all the time on WhatsApp. This is someone who I grew so close to because this is why I describe him as Uncle Claude, because he was like my uncle. This was someone who, you know, you felt so precious about, someone who you just wish life worked out better for, someone who you could tell had suffered so much based on everything I've heard previously, prior to the relationship that I had with him, but also during the relationship I had with him. And when I spoke to him and some of the difficulties he had and some of the struggles he had, it was, the irony is he was one of the toughest people I knew. And he never knew how many hearts he truly touched. Every day this guy used to talk about the fact that he didn't think people cared about him. He didn't think people loved him. He didn't think people respected him. You know? Even as recently as last week before he passed away, he said that in the group chat to us, that he just didn't think he was respected by people. Then one thing that I wish Claude would have remembered is that even if that was the case, and I certainly don't think it was, the important people, the ones that were there for him every single day, were the ones that cared about him, that loved him, that had been not for six ever since they found out what happened. I lost my friend last weekend, and I've been in a daze ever since. For those of you who don't know, and I've been wondering what's happened to Chig and why doesn't he make as many videos as he used to do, and this, that, and the other. One of the things I am dealing with is a condition of my own. Part of it has some mental health repercussions, but actually it's more of a physical injury that I'm dealing with that has some mental health stuff towards it. And I'll be as revealing with you guys as possible. I've been up and down. I've been up and down for a long period of time, for 6 months, dealing with this, trying to put a lid on it, not fully revealing stuff to anyone, because that's just the way I deal with stuff, you know? And actually, sometimes when you speak to Claude, or when the chances I spoke to Claude, sometimes he used to put what I was going through into a different perspective, you know? And then when I found out that he passed away on Sunday, it kind of made me realize that I can beat whatever it is I'm going through, as long as I'm around to do it, as long as I'm still alive to do it. Claude's passing made me realize that life can end just like that. This is a man I spoke to a few hours ago. But it was no more. It made me realize that no matter how difficult life is, no matter no matter what you're going through, whether it's an injury, whether it's a condition you have, whether it's things you're suffering from inside work, outside of work, personally related, at least you're alive to be there and to fight it. You should never give up. And I'm glad that, today it was confirmed what I always thought anyway, was that he died of natural causes. And it puts to bed any rumors of any stupidness that I saw people discussing online. And it got me annoyed, because I know Claude wouldn't give up like that. I knew he would never give up like that. The man's Italian. He's too stubborn to ever have given up like that. But it made me put my own shit into perspective. It made me realize that no matter what I'm going through, I have a family here that will support me. I have an amazing family, an amazing mum. My mum is my idol. I always say it to people. She's my idol. Strongest person I know. My sister, I never knew she had it in her. I've got 3 sisters, but one of my sisters in particular has been, I don't know what I'm going to do to repay her. And she's been assisting me and helping me get better and helping me recover from my injury. And I compare myself to Claude, and to be honest, Claude never had half of that. But what we always tried to do was we tried to be there for him legitimately. I don't just mean as a PR thing. I don't mean just as a little fun story of something that happened a couple of months ago between you and him, because that was the last time you spoke to him. No, I mean every day we spoke to this guy. Every single day. Because he was my friend. He was our friend. So for me, it was not Claude, Mr. It's time to go. That wasn't Claude to me. Claude to me was just this wonderful, sweet man who never realized just how many hearts he touched. And if there's one thing that I hope comes good out of all of this, is he's up there now with his mum, which I know is something. I mean, I know how close he was to his mum. He's up there with his mum, and maybe now he finally realizes and understands, while up there, just how loved he really was and is and forever will be. So, Claude, I love you, unks. I'll always miss you. And hopefully Arsenal will get their crap into gear and win something for you. Take care, my man. And hopefully don't see you too soon, but I'll see you on the other side. Take care.